I don't know about Hank Brown. I haven't seen enough of him to make any kind of judgment. But Walker White comes in as a dual threat quarterback, the kind that Hugh Freeze wants. So I'm with you. I mean, look, I look at what Peyton Thorne did at Michigan State, the numbers. Something doesn't match up here because I watched him consistently throughout the entire year. It didn't get any better. It really didn't get any worse, but he missed open guys. I mean, even when he had time, he missed wide open receivers. That can't happen if you want to take this team from mediocre to pretty good.
I think the biggest question also is, can two of these guys give the coaching staff enough confidence that they don't want to go out after spring and try to pull another guy on the I'm going to call it the trading blocks, because what is the transfer portal at this point is nothing but the trading blocks. And what's going to happen is you're going to have some of these teams, IA, Ohio State, Georgia, some of these other teams got 4 to 5 high 4-star to 5-star guys that are all competing for the starting job. Texas, add them to the mix. But if one of those guys doesn't happen to win the job that's expecting to or wants to or feels like he deserves to, he's going to be on the transfer portal. Now, if one of these, or I feel like it has to be two for Auburn to not go and get a transfer.
Right.
Two of them that really perform well. One, I think, has to be Walker White. If Walker White is not ready to at least vie for the starting role at Auburn, I think we go on the transfer portal and pick up another. Do you agree with that? That's my sense right now. Is I don't think that we'll leave it just in the hands of Peyton Thorne next year. I don't believe that.
Yeah, I think it's probably accurate. I mean, I guess maybe the X factor is Hank Brown. If he comes out and performs like he did in the bowl game, I mean, he was throwing it. That was you got. Look, I don't know. It's one of those weird things where you look at it was one game.
Yeah.
It wasn't even one game. It was one quarter. It was one drive, or one or two drives. So you look at it and say, well, do you just completely dismiss it, or do you look at it and say, okay, if he comes in and he looks like that and he throws it like that, we may have kind of discovered a jewel here that nobody, that kind of everybody else overlooked. I don't know. I mean, I think you'll be able to see it pretty soon, right?
Well, the one thing about, we talking heads only go off what we're given.
Yeah.
But this guy is an Auburn football recruit. He's on the roster for a reason.
He was headed to UAB for a reason, right?
Well, you would guess, but he was heading there because his coach was heading there.
Yeah.
And you can look at his high school stats. I think his senior year he had 43 touchdowns to 1 pick. I mean, good luck pulling that off. And this is not a questionable guy size-wise.
No.
On the field, he looks, I don't know what he's listed. He looks to be 6'4", 205, 210.
I was going to say 6'3".
Very long, good arm. It's not like you're
Same as pretty much Walker White.
Yeah.
Walker
White's
6'3",
a little bit more of a bull.
6'3", 220.
Yeah. So I'm impressed physically with both of those guys. Can one of them give you the sense that he can play and play meaningful minutes next year? We'll see.
We'll see. Up against another break. Don't go anywhere. Give us a call, 256-234-6221. Dial us up on the Sports Blitz Facebook page or our YouTube page and give us a comment. We'll read those when we get a chance. Don't go anywhere. More to come right after this.
Lee Apparel is your go-to vendor for screen-printed and embroidered apparel and promotional products. We print and embroider free custom-made graphics or outsourced designs on everything from t-shirts, headwear, corporate wear, team sportswear, high-end safety apparel, and promotional products. At Lee Apparel, you can always expect quick turnaround time, competitive pricing, friendly customer service, and free in-hands delivery on all orders. Visit us at leeapparel.com to get started.
Lake Martin Garage, located on Highway 280 in Jackson's Gap, has been serving our area since 1993. From routine maintenance such as oil changes, tune-ups, and rotating and balancing your tires, to transmission and engine repair, our trained and certified mechanics will get you back on the road better than before. Need a tow? With a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week towing service, Lake Martin Garage has local and long-range pickup. Trust your vehicle needs to the professionals at Lake Martin Garage. Call 256-825-6139, or better yet, stop in and see them today. Lake Martin Garage.
What's the verdict?
Can't fix your heat pump. Need a new one.
Uh-oh. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking Daikin.
Call on Kevin Kill in Sunshine Heating and Air at 256-825-4849, Central Alabama's premier Daikin dealer.
So what's he thinking?
Oh, he's thinking Daikin.
Daikin, one of the top selling in the world.
Now I'm thinking Daikin.
Daikin. Comfort for life.
Passion, the obsession that burns within. Determination, the burning desire to make it. Drive, the motivation to be the absolute best. Skills, the tools to perform at the highest level. Excellence, the feeling of achievement. At Central Alabama Community College, you can release your passion, show your determination, display your drive, and showcase your skills to achieve excellence. Central Alabama Community College, central to you, central to your success.
There's only one option for top-of-the-line aftermarket upgrades on your vehicle, and that's Frontline Outfitters. We offer quality parts, lift kits, custom wheels and tires, bed covers, step bars, and toolboxes that are installed by trained and skilled professionals, to custom powder coating with hundreds of colors and finishes, to the highest quality film for window tinting using state-of-the-art film cutting technology. Call Frontline Outfitters at 256-409-8100. Don't be in the back of the line. Put your vehicle at the front with Frontline Outfitters. Grain and Leaf, located at 6068 Highway 63 South, is Lake Martin's premier boutique-style bottle shop with a unique array of sophistication for everyone. Appropriately named for its exclusive selection of top spirits, wine, and craft beer, Grain and Leaf also has a number of fine cigars for you to choose from. They also carry the full line of Hornsby Farms assorted jellies and pottery. Open 10 to 7 Monday through Saturday and noon to 5 on Sundays, Grain and Leaf is your premier shop in the Lake Martin area. Lake Martin Mobile Detailing is the #1 auto and boat detailing company in Central Alabama. Don't trust your boat or vehicle to just anybody. Hire the professionals. Top-of-the-line ceramic coating, detailing, gel coat restoration, and paint correction gives you the options to take care of your vehicle the right way. Located at 702 McCarty Road in Dadeville, Lake Martin Mobile Detailing will have you riding in style. Call them today at 256-794-2328 for Superior Automotive and Boat Detailing.
J.A. Smith Construction is your trusted choice for construction site clearing and grading for new home construction, underground utilities and site work, concrete paving, storm drain installation, fish ponds, and slough dredging. No job is too big or too small. Call Alexander at J.A. Smith Construction at 256-896-1400 or email asmith@jasmithconstruct.com. J.A. Smith Construction, your trusted choice for construction.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz. Andy and Randy here with you. About 30 more minutes left in today's show. We'll get back to our spring practice position battles, but some of your comments. Steve says, K.D. Johnson excites me and infuriates me. He can make a great drive to the basket and then stand there and pose while other team is already past half court. I believe the only person holding back KD from being great is KD. That's probably accurate. Ty says, I heard Fishback last night predict the Auburn-Tennessee game. The first one to 60 points might win the game. A defensive struggle.
Well, I trust Fishback. I like Fishback, for one. I like Ron Slay. I like all of those guys that are color guys and studio hosts for the SEC network. That's really gone over maybe better than a lot of us expected. I don't know if what we expected, but I do know the personalities that they've chosen mesh well with one another, and they kind of show it. I love the interview after the game with Chad Baker-Mazara this past week.
Yeah.
They handled it well in studio. You know, they got emotional Ron Slay up there, man. You get that guy going, you get his motor running. He adds so much to the broadcast. He really does. And Fishback, he's just a good, nice guy. You know, you'd hate to speculate and not know but he feels that way. He comes off that way.
He
and
does.
so defensively, we'll see. I think Auburn can win a game like that. I'll give this for Auburn. Whereas Alabama, I don't think can win a game like that. I think Auburn can win a game looking ugly and win a game really shooting the ball well, depending on what offense shows up for Auburn.
I agree 100%. Ty says, does Dylan Cardwell have one more year left, or is he out of eligibility this year? Technically, I think he is a senior, but I think he's a true senior. He may have a COVID year left. I'm not sure. I think, are we about to run out of COVID years?
There's got to be a point where you go, okay, that's enough. Enough is enough. You can't have guys around 6, 7, 8 years. And,
Yeah.
I think this is it for him, but if he had another year, I'd embrace it. He has done
He's
nothing.
not an NBA guy.
He's done nothing but improve this year. I'll give him that.
I would agree. Bubba says Bruce Pearl was only a manager at Boston College. He didn't even play high school basketball.
I'll have to look at that. I don't know that. Maybe I'm wrong.
I knew he was the mascot. I think he did play the mascot at least one, or maybe for a little while at Boston College. I do remember him saying that.
You know, there is a point shaving 30 for 30 that's out there.
That's true.
That's on Boston College. And look, unless I just didn't pay as close attention to what was being said, but that's the only reason I knew he was on Boston College team. I've never looked at it, never looked at his playing career. But I think they made mention that him being a college coach was a member of that team. Now, he could have been a member of that team as the manager. But I took it that he was a player. I'll look it up during the break and see which one of us is right.
Steve says, I pray Thorne is not the starting QB this year. How many pick sixes did he throw this last year? More than he should have.
Well, we said the exact same thing about T.J. Finley. And what concerns me is when you've seen as much on Peyton Thorne and T.J. Finley as we saw on those two, and you watch the way after a full year they seem to play worse at the end of the year than they did at other parts of the season, really draws concerns. And what we saw in both bowl games, I hate to compare and contrast both of them, but it's the only memory that's coming up, and neither one of them are good memories for me with the way those two guys played in the bowl game. And it's hard to forget that for me to buy into him being the starting quarterback moving forward.
Yeah. John says, Hank Brown, wasn't he a character on Hee Haw?
Was he? You'd be the only one to know.
You
or Luke.
I would not know that one. That's a little
Brett's got a lot of useless knowledge, too.
That's true.
He might know this.
He might. Bubba says, Holden Garner is fighting for his Auburn quarterback life. If I had to pick one of the three guys that will not be here in the fall, it would be Holden Garner.
I agree.
That's just my.
And if he would have played well in the bowl game, then I would have said the total opposite. Because during that bowl game, I was like, can we not give this guy a chance? Has he not proven in practice? Are the beat reporters that are giving all this positive news around Holden Garner just lying? I was saying that. And then he didn't look terrible, but he didn't look great. And Hank Brown at times looked great.
Okay.
So I would say yes. I'd agree with both of you. I would expect Hank Brown to be higher up the depth chart at the end of spring than Holden Garner.
Were you a Breaking Bad fan?
No.
I did not watch the series, but apparently Walker White was a character on Breaking Bad as well. Thank you for the more useless knowledge.
It's a new age show,
John,
and most of you and Luke's knowledge is based off of older programs. So
he was. I'm getting the nod from
Kane
the booth.
would know.
Kane would know. Kane's in there with me. All right, back to the position battles. Running back room is solid. Same running back room as last year. All four guys come back. and you got Sean Jackson and Justin Jones out there as well. When we come back, receiver and tight end. Some new faces. How will they fit in? Will these old faces, are we finally going to get something from some of these guys? I don't know. We'll see. Don't go anywhere. More to come on this edition of the Auburn Blitz.
"76% of nurses say they went into the profession because they wanted to help patients. No matter the reason you decided to become a nurse, you have all the tools needed to advance your degree at Jacksonville State University. Our Master's in Nursing program is now offered fully online and can be completed in less than 2 years. You can customize a flexible course schedule so you can receive your advanced education degree all while working on the front line. JSU Nursing, your opportunity to advance your career and serve your community."
Egg rolls are back at Zaxby's. They're hand-rolled and come with a delicious sweet and spicy dipping sauce. But enough from me. Let the egg rolls do the talking. And there you have it. 2 for $3 egg rolls. Woo, saucy! Zaxby's.
At C&T Electric, our clients are our priority. For the safety and security of your family and home, our technicians are professionally trained, drug tested, background checked, and wear uniforms with name tags. We're proud to have served the Elk City, Dadeville, and Lake Martin areas for the past 10 years. Give us a call at 256-234-0007 for all your electrical service and repair needs, or visit us on the web at www.cntelectricllc.com and spell out the word "and."
WOTM is the television provider for all Alabama High School Athletic Association championship events and special programs. WOTM is your home for the Super 7 football, state finals basketball, baseball and softball state championships, the AHSAA weekly show, and WOTM also produced the first ever football playoff show, Super 7 preview show, and reclassification reveal show. Your exclusive home for all things AHSAA is WOTM. Contact your local cable provider to request WOTM to your channel lineup.
Russell Do-It Center and building supply stores have the tools and materials to get the job done right, whether you're a professional contractor or just a weekend do-it-yourselfer. With everyday customer conveniences like a drive-through lumberyard, price match promise, and our Best Rewards program, each of our 9 locations offer top brands and building materials like lumber, hardware, tools, paint, lawn and garden, and much more. Visit today and see what Russell Do-It Center and Building Supply can help you build tomorrow.
Bugs Island is your boating headquarters. Are you ready to hit the water and go boating this summer? Bugs Island has all kinds of boats, with one sure to fit exactly what you want. Fishing boats, sport boats, pontoon boats, and all with low monthly payments. Call 1-800-I'm-READY. Bugs Island Service Department experts are also here for you to keep your boat in top running condition. Call 1-800-I'm-READY. Don't be left standing on the bank this summer. Visit online at bugsisland.com and don't buy a boat till you get a Bugs quote.
Fried chicken, and wontons, and teriyaki glaze, and an egg roll. Some people think the Zaxby's Sensation Salad is too delicious to be a salad. Yep, that's why we call it a salad. The Zaxby's Sensation Salad. Zaxby's.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz. Andy and Randy here with you. Just a couple of more segments left in today's show. Thank you so much for all of you out there being with us. Confirmation, Bruce Pearl.
Playing for the Mob. That was the 30 for 30. Very good, by the way.
What?
Now, Bruce Pearl was just a bit piece to that. It had to have been mentioned that he was part of the team, which meant he was actually a student aide for the team. I, of course, got it confused that he was a member of the team, but I apologize for that. But he was a student aide, and, you know, just reading through this Playing for the Mob fix that was set up this 78-79, by the way. Tom Davis was the coach, and they've interviewed Bruce Pearl numerous times on whether he suspected anything was going on. He comes back to say nothing. So do you love 30 for 30s?
I do.
It's a good one. This is a really good one. It may not even be 30 for 30. It could have been another documentary, but I feel like it was 30 for 30, and it was very well done. So,
I remember watching it. Yeah, it was good. I just got through watching the
Bill Walton.
Bill Walton.
Great one.
It was. He's a weird cat, but I mean it was very, very good.
And
you learn a lot more about him. I mean, he's a incredibly humble guy.
Hey, and you know what I can get a feel for people is when you're talking to their family and the way that they communicate about you probably tells more of the story of who you are than anything. And you watch his sons talk about him. His sons love that man.
Sure.
They know he's different. They, have embraced how eccentric he is, but there's no really animosity about it. It's kind of fun to watch them talk about him and laugh, and they can say certain sayings that he says and how he, makes everything a lot bigger than it actually is.
He's the king of exaggeration.
Yes, and if you haven't watched that one, the Bill Walton for 30 for 30 is outstanding. It's what, 3-part series?
I think so, at least.
Yeah.
My favorite part is, UCLA's won like 7 or what is it? I don't know what it was, 5 or 6 straight national championships. They've won like I don't know how many games in a row, and they lose to Notre Dame, and it's like we were devastated. It was the most embarrassing, most humiliating moment of my life. I'm like, what are you? You lost 1 game.
You'd won 80-something in a row leading into it.
It's funny.
He's as good a college player as there's ever been.
He was extraordinary. He was very, very good. Very, very good. And went on to win an NBA title. So he's got
and
both.
he was the he was the MVP that year.
Yep.
Yep. Now, all of his ailments following that, you never saw the greatness that was, but for anyone that wants to go back and watch what he looked like in his prime at UCLA, you see greatness. And the way they ran the basketball, I'm actually thinking of Bill Walton when we're teaching kids right now to run sideline break, because if you're the rebounder, if you're the main guy getting it, he was exceptionally good at making that turn and finding the guard running out and passing the basketball. He's probably one of the best passing big men of all time.
Yeah, definitely. John says, Plainview 44, College Hill 7 in the second quarter. That's kind of a runaway.
Yesterday, Spring Garden led Elba's girls 41-0 at halftime.
Did they finally score?
They did. They lost 68-16 or something like that.
Man.
Have you ever played a full half and you didn't score?
No.
Oh, I can't remember.
Maybe in soccer, not basketball.
41 in a semifinal girls basketball game, 41-0.
That's tough.
That one's bad too. Plainview great in all, girls and boys. Some of these. You ever heard of Plainview?
Nope.
There's
I've heard of them.
There's schools around this state that I had no earthly idea they existed. I had no reason to ever watch them play, and then you get involved with AHSAA or you get involved with some of these high school sports, and you hear of Spring Garden, who's won 8 state championships, currently 4th on the all-time. They're about to win their 9th. They've got an Alabama commit, Ricky Austin's son, Ace Austin. She's averaging 30-plus points a game. I think she scored 4,000-plus points in her high school career. I mean, some of these schools just embrace certain sports more than others. Andy.
Who would have ever heard of Fife if not for the high school football team?
If not for football, and now everyone, they're a household name around this state.
Yeah. All right, back to this. Receivers this year, coming back, Coy Moore, Camden Brown, Jay Fair, Caleb Burton. Then you got the newcomers, Cam Coleman, Bryce Kane, in for fall winter workouts and spring practice. Robert Lewis comes over from Georgia State, I believe. He's a senior, 1-year rental. And you got Sam Jackson coming over from California. We saw him as a quarterback when we went out to Cal. But Jason Caldwell made mention of him just the other day and how he thinks he could be the dark horse here that could really make a difference.
Well, you watched that bowl game, and you saw that the guys that are on that top line that you just read off when someone was delivering the ball to them, all of a sudden they looked so much better. You know, I think back to Tua's year, you know, when they come back in the second half with Tua in at quarterback and pulling Hurts out, and all of these great receivers that they had just looked exponentially better when Tua was in the ball game. It felt like that with Hank Brown last year. I'm like, where's Jay Fairbairn? Hold up, Camden Brown can catch. You know, they've got opportunities, and so I think so much of this depends on who's delivering the ball.
The other ones, Malcolm Simmons and Perry Thompson, do you think you see all four of these guys? No, none of them redshirted.
No, I can't see any of them redshirting from an athleticism standpoint. It's too good. Now, if you told me Bryce Kane needed a year, I don't think it. I think that he can play. I think Malcolm Simmons is going to blow everybody's socks off. I think he's that type of athlete. Everybody.
Do we see him returning punts?
Maybe. I didn't see enough of that in high school, of course, running kickoffs back and stuff, but returning punts is a different skill set.
It is.
Totally different. You got to have someone you're really confident with back there. I think there may be some others. I don't want to take him away from that, but a slot guy that's a game breaker that has the athleticism that Malcolm does, and then the other two guys, they're just.
Well, I don't want to ever see Coy Moore back there.
I don't think that's going to happen again. Bryce Kane could.
Bryce Kane. Now, that might be an interesting one. Tight end, you got Fairweather back, Luke Deal back for a 7th, 8th, 9th year. I'm not sure. Brandon Frazier back for his senior year. Micah Riley back, and the transfer Rico Walker. So just add another. You lose, who was it? The Flaming Locks there. Brother played quarterback at Georgia. I can't remember. Prom. You're losing Tyler Prom, but you're gaining this guy, Walker. I'm not sure what he brings. But I think the tight end room is pretty solid.
I think it's fine. I think it has some blockers in the mix. It's got big old, guys, and we saw more opportunities in that room last year than we've seen in the past in Fairweather. If he gets opportunities, he'll have even better numbers this year than last.
Yeah. Tackles, Percy Lewis, the transfer from Mississippi State, 6'7", 355 pounds. Sophomore Seth Wilfred, Tyler Johnson, Dylan Senda, Isavian Miller, and Jaden Muskrat kind of battling it out. The plan is, I think, to move Dylan Wade, who played left tackle last year, into play guard. That will even make this line even better when you got the anchor there, Connor Lew, starting at center.
Well, I'll say, looking down the list of tackles, guards, and center, a lot of these guys have taken a number of snaps at Auburn. That can only be good. You know, now, can they mesh together and create one really good unit? I hope so, but different than years past, I see a lot of returning players on this roster.
That you'd actually glad to be back.
Sure.
Up against the break, we'll be back with one final segment right after this.
When drinking, take a sober ride home, not someone's life. Alabama has a code of the road, and knowing it helps you follow it. This is a message from your Alabama Department of Transportation.
J.A. Smith Construction is your trusted choice for construction site clearing and grading for new home construction, underground utilities and site work, concrete paving, storm drain installation, fish ponds, and slough dredging. No job is too big or too small. Call Alexander at J.A. Smith Construction at 256-896-1400 or email asmith@jasmithconstruct.com. J.A. Smith Construction, your trusted choice for construction.
Sign Source is your local vendor for commercial and residential sign manufacturing and installation. We offer all kinds of lighted and non-lighted signage, from retail signs, LED message centers, event banners, vehicle wraps, the whole spectrum. We also offer service and repair on existing signs, as well as retrofitting to LED or installation of outsourced signage. We have the knowledge necessary to fulfill all of your signage needs in the short or long term. Visit signsourcenow.com to get started.
EnviroCare is the standard in East Central Alabama for all your pest control and termite needs. EnviroCare exclusively offers Centricon termite colony elimination system that is the industry's most effective termite control to protect your home year-round. The EnviroCare team's service is also the standard for our customers. From eliminating home pests to superior termite control, nobody cares like EnviroCare, serving Lake Martin and East Central Alabama.
Chick-fil-A is always the best option when you're on the go, but they are also great when it comes to planning your next event, from tailgating to birthday parties to weddings. Call Chick-fil-A Alexander City at 256-289-7955 for catering or order on the Chick-fil-A app. Make sure to choose the Alexander City location and have your catering order ready to go. Nugget trays, mac and cheese trays, fruit trays, cookie trays, gallons of our famous lemonade or tea, and chilled grilled chicken sub sandwiches, and a lot more options. Make it Chick-fil-A Alexander City for your next event.
Folks around these parts have known for a long time that Walls Tire, just a mile past the bridge on Highway 280, is your #1 stop for automotive service and repair. At Walls Tire, you'll always find quality service at a fair price on everything from AC, name brand tires, big or small repairs, routine maintenance, towing, and more. When your car or truck needs to run right, there's one place in the area to go, conveniently located and easy to find. Walls Tire, just a mile past the bridge on Highway 280.
Passion, the obsession that burns within. Determination, the burning desire to make it. Drive, the motivation to be the absolute best. Skills, the tools to perform at the highest level. Excellence, the feeling of achievement. At Central Alabama Community College, you can release your passion, show your determination, display your drive, and showcase your skills to achieve excellence. Central Alabama Community College, central to you, central to your success.
Catch a ride, not a buzz.
Hey, can you come get me?
Being buzzed still counts. Alabama has a code of the road, and knowing it helps you follow it. This is a message from your Alabama Department of Transportation.
Welcome back, everyone, to the final segment of the Auburn Blitz on this Tuesday afternoon. Lovely day outside. Going to be even
lovely week.
Oh man,
I think it's going to cool this weekend.
Yeah, it's going to cool off, but
you want to stay inside.
75, 78 today.
You love it.
Good grief, Randy. I'm in heaven today. Just doing the best I can for sure. I will not do a Christopher Walken impression today. But that was my favorite Super Bowl commercial because everybody does a Chris Walken impression. That was so spot on.
You did a perfect Bill Walton one, by the way.
Thank you.
Yes, that was. You're going to have to pull that one back out again.
I'll do that one again. He's pretty easy to do. He's a nut. But anyway, all right, back to defense. That side of the ball, Jason Jones back for a senior year. You got a couple of transfers as well. That Quintrell Jamison-Travis came in last year but was, I think, injured, not able really to contribute all that much. Trill Carter comes over from Texas, I believe. I'm not sure what we're going to get. Was it Texas? Or was it maybe it was the Jaron Thompson that came from Texas.
Now, don't we have 5 or 6 open spots? Am I right that we're going into spring with 79 scholarship players?
That's correct.
Which leaves 5 or 6 openings for us to go out. And if I had to pick one that I feel like we're probably going to have to go out and find, that's not a deep nose tackle, defensive tackle room currently.
No.
When you've only got, 8 guys?
2 of them are freshmen.
Yeah.
And one of them, Darren Reed, didn't play last year.
Actually, just 7 guys because they've got Jamison-Travis listed for both defensive tackle and nose tackle. So just not a very deep room. And
now, Keldrick Falk could move inside. He's big
enough to.
Yeah.
See his brother play last night?
Zeke Walker, too, as well.
Brother took Highland home to state championship, beat Lafayette last night. He's
Is
a
that
good,
right?
good basketball
To
player.
Caleb, right?
Yeah, he's got a great. He's nowhere near the size of his brother, but
He's more of a
he's
Jack or a
he's a more
Ian.
of a. I don't know what he's listed right now, but he looks like he weighs 220. Whereas I think the older brother, Keldrick, was 280. Coming out of
Right.
high school, 275, 280. So a different frame, but a great frame, and he's a good basketball player.
I'm really looking forward to seeing Amaris Williams and Jamonta Waller, the two really highly thought of prospects that came. They were committed to Florida for so long, but those guys, I think, have a chance to really get some and make some inroads here in this spring.
Well, we've got a lot to sell defensively. I mean, you look, how much production did we have based off of these returning players here for Auburn? Not an awful lot.
Jalen McLeod was probably
the most productive of the bunch.
Keldrick Falk was pretty there.
Towards the end of the year, you started seeing more out of him. The defensive linemen and the nose tackles, very little production out of them in comparison to some of our great years with Derek Brown and some others.
Oh,
so
yeah.
if you're to go out there and sell potential playing time and lots of it early, if you come in and play well, it'd be at Auburn right now.
I would
at
say
this
so.
position.
Linebacker Eugene Asante coming back for a senior year. Austin Keys got tremendous production out of both of those guys last year. Feel really good about the linebacker room coming back now. You got Dorian. I don't know if it's Musai.
That works.
I'll take it. Transfer from Duke. You know, I'm looking forward, of course, to seeing DeMarcus Riddick and Joseph Phillips. Is Robert Woodyard going to ever do anything?
He's never been one that I've jumped up and down about.
I recall.
It's
Nor
not.
is Wesley Steiner's played a lot, but, you know, he's got his limitations.
Well, as I just said, you know, it's easy from an athleticism standpoint to see what you're getting when you're on a basketball court. I know that that's a totally different sport.
Yeah.
But when you see guys out there, and we've seen a lot of linebackers over the years that are playing down in the post, and their mobility and their ability to do a lot of things out there kind of prove that they can move over and do things, especially linebacker play. And I saw Woodyard and remember sitting across, and I hope he ends up being outstanding, and I'm wrong. But I remember saying, man, he's a five-star, and this was his freshman or sophomore year in high school, where I think Robert Woodyard was the #1 rated linebacker in the country in his class at that time. He committed to Alabama very early, maybe like his sophomore year. The skill set, the look is there. Hopefully the play ends up being there.
Wesley Steiner back for his senior year. Also, DJ Barber, another true freshman coming in. This freshman class of linebackers kind of rivals almost the receiving room.
Well, I think Joseph Phillips is ready from a physicality standpoint, from a size standpoint, to come in. If he can, move around and learn pass coverage and certain things that you've got to be able to do. DJ Barber, not near the size, but very productive linebacker for a great team there at Clay Chalkville. So I like both. I do like both those guys. I think both are going to end up being really good players.
Keontae Scott looking to move from nickel to cornerback, starting cornerback, Keontae Scott, Kay and Lee. That room I really, really like. Kay and Lee, J.D. Rim, Champ Anthony got a lot of playing time last year. Tyler Scott is a guy that I think I really highly of. J.C. Art was a lower kind of overlooked guy from Lochapoka, but they love his speed. Colton Hood got some good playing time. Got the transfers from Alabama. Antonio Kite, where does he fit in? And Jaron Thompson, I think he's the guy, maybe from Texas. So just I think that room, the secondary, even though we lost some really productive guys, like what's in there.
Well, Antonio Kite, physical player, good size, good height, length, athleticism, probably is an upgrade in certain respects when you bring that in. So I'd expect Kite to get a good chance.
It's going to wrap it up for us. Thank you so much for all of you out there being with us today. Be sure to join us tomorrow, same bat time, same bat channel. He is Randy Lee. I'm Andy Graham. So long for now, everybody. We'll talk again soon.